It is not over for TF2. The latest Team Fortress update has introduced the TF2 SDK. SDK standing for Software Development Kit. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially a load of tools that allow developers to create mods, maps, and other content for TF2. This might not sound too crazy to some of you on the surface, and you're probably thinking, what's the difference between this and the Steam Workshop? But the extent of this update will allow developers to modify a lot of TF2's codebase in many ways, allowing them to potentially create entirely new games based off TF2's branch of the Source engine. Similar to the way that mods like Black Mesa have developed over time into their own fully fledged games, because a lot more of the Half-Life 2 codebase was available to modders. As well as this, we should see a lot more community bug fixes, improvements, and optimizations now that modders will be able to do a lot more with the game development-wise. On the topic of mods specifically, Valve are now also allowing people to post mods that they create straight onto the Steam store. And knowing how passionate TF2 players are with the game, we should hopefully see a bunch of these mods available to download on Steam in the near future. This also does mean that pre-existing mods like TF2 Classic and Open Fortress are most likely not going to be in some weird legal grey area, because they won't have to rely on fragmented, leaked pieces of old TF2 codebases. This update will hopefully allow anybody to make great progress with their mods without worrying about breaking Valve's rules when it comes to releasing TF2 mods. And as mentioned before, we may even see some of these pre-existing mods on Steam now. Aside from fully fledged mods, this will also mean that we'll see a lot more innovative custom weapons on the workshop. You see, previously users weren't really able to mess around with the stats or other unique weapon effects when it came to posting on the workshop. For example, in my last video, the community made mini dispenser wasn't able to showcase its faster build time in its trailer video. But now with the TF2 SDK, I'm almost certain we'll actually see the visions that these modders have for their weapons in full force. And I really hope that means that Valve will allow us to do community updates with new weapons and items to add to the game. So while Valve have confirmed that barely anybody is working on TF2 internally, I really do think this update is going to be great for the game's lifespan because of all the reasons I mentioned. And as a TF2 fan, if any of you have seen what the Half-Life 2 community have managed to do with a very old SDK, you should be very excited to see what the TF2 community puts out. And I don't know about you, but I'd be very hyped to see someone make some sort of single player campaign mod in the TF2 universe. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure there were some leaks a while ago that Valve could have been making a game in the TF2 universe. The ideas with TF2 modding are endless, and I know people are passionate enough to put some very cool stuff out there like that. If you got to this part of the video, please like and subscribe, and also check out my last video about the cut weapons of TF2.